New Orleans Pelicans are 0-4, and in a few hours, I'm sure they'll be 0-5. They are on a West Coast road trip taking on the Los Angeles Clippers tonight. I'm filming this on Halloween. I wanted to talk about the Pels start of the season, what the hell is going on, and what should go on. So, I went to the first Pelicans game at home, not the first one in Memphis, but the first one in the Smoothie King Center in the Blender. Went to see Wemby and take on the Pels. And I'll tell you this. Game was a blast. A lot of fun, a lot of good energy in there. It was good to see the team play different. For the last couple of years, the team has played the exact same way. It was kind of a slow, plodding team. You know, Jonas, Brandon Ingram, Larry Nance, Najee, like even Dyson Daniels. Some of those guys are just kind of slower pace, kind of a plodding kind of strategy when it comes to the offense, especially when Zion's in there, whatever. But now, totally different. Like having Fears and Queen and having more shooters like Jordan Poole out there and Trey and Herb have kind of Trey is a dynamic player in his own right. He's not playing great right now, but still. And the team felt more fun. They felt more fun to watch. And that game was a game where the Pels went to overtime, lost, but it's the Spurs, right? It's Wemby, good team. You lose in overtime. It is what it is. Well, since then, the wheels have fallen off, ladies and gentlemen. Since then, the Pels have suffered losses of over 30 points and 40 points in back-to-back games. The writing is on the wall that Willie Green is going to get fired. Whether he's fired in the next 48 hours or 72 hours or a week, doesn't really matter, but he's getting fired. And the Pelicans are entering a pretty obvious turning of the page. And that page is the Zion Williamson experiment. Okay, so this season, when Joe Dumars rolled up in here, he had to make one decision right off the bat. And that decision was, is this a team built around Zion or not? And the gamble was yes. And I think, I can't prove this, but I think the plan was, we will see what he can do with a new cast of characters around him. We'll see what he can do. If the team catches lightning in a bottle, starts off hot, whatever, we'll ride the wave. If not, we're going to blow it up. The reason I say that is because of the trade to get Derek Queen. Trading your unprotected first-round pick for a team that was just horrific the year before, and you look around at the roster and there's no reason to think they'd be that much better, right? Is insane unless you believe you have a parachute to get back into the lottery. I believe, the Pels believe, that's what they're going to do. If they are bad enough, which at this point right now, you can see behind me, they are that bad. Currently the worst net rating in the NBA, which isn't hard when you're getting beat by 30 or 40. When you are as bad as the Pels, and if they keep going on this track, you trade Zion, you get firsts back, you get back into the top part of the draft, and you do a full rebuild around this super young core. And that young core is Fears, Queen, Herb, Murphy, Misi. We'll see what DeJounte. I mean, it's hard to throw DeJounte in there. He's not on the court right now, but he's involved as well, okay? That has to be the plan. The Zion thing ain't working, has never worked, and it ain't gonna work. We are trying to copy and paste the same strategy 7 years in a row now. That strategy is just built on Zion being this transformational player. Zion reminds me a lot of, in the NFL, like the Wildcat offense or whatever, where it looked like it was going to completely take over the league for about 8 months. And then it just kind of faded out of favor. And then the league moved on, and it just never was a thing again. When you look at the NBA, and you look at how teams are winning, and then you look at what the Pels are trying to do, in what world is that going to work? When you have Wemby, when you have Jokic, when you have Giannis at the peak of his powers, when you have all that happening, in what world is Zion at 6'9", him just crashing through the hoop, trying to finish and or get fouled? How is that the plan? Because you see what happens whenever we play someone like Jokic, whenever we play someone like Wemby or Embiid when he was healthy. If there is a dominant big man, we are cooked, especially right now. Because right now, this team is incredibly small. Even our big guys, okay? Even Misi, 6'11", 235. All right? What else we got? We got Carlo Matkovic. We got Hunter Dickinson. We went and got DeAndre Jordan. We are incredibly thin, literally and figuratively, down low. And that's because Zion is supposed to be that guy. Okay? 6'6", 280, 6'9", whatever you think he is. Let's say 6'7", 6'6". Who knows? Right? Wemby's either 7'4" or 7'7". I don't know how the NBA can't have correct heights. You hear different heights all the time. But this experiment just isn't going to work. And I mean, really all Zion is an incredibly limited point guard. Limited to the point of doesn't have a shot. Doesn't want to try and shoot. Can't shoot. Not part of his game. His game is one thing and one thing only. Driving to the basket. And the rest is we just hope it works. So I think that's pretty obvious. That's how this team is going to operate. They're going to do what they can to move off of him, see what they can get back. Because if they don't, now, here's the deal. The remaining years of Zion's contract are not guaranteed because of time he previously missed that triggered a clause where now it's not guaranteed. So he can walk. Whether it's his decision, the team's decision, however you want to phrase it, he can walk. And the team can move off him at any time, which they have to. All right? In order to move forward. So you got to get something for him now. You got to get something for him because if they do not, and that pick is a first overall pick, second overall pick, third overall pick, fourth overall pick, fifth overall pick, and you just traded it away, and then Zion, and then you move off of him, so you don't get anything for Zion. Oh, and you traded away an unprotected first for arguably the worst team in the NBA. That is front office malpractice to the highest possible degree. It's such a horrible thing to even like imagine that's the plan that I won't even allow it to be the plan. I have to believe that Dumars is thinking what I'm thinking of, well, we don't have a first now, but we have built-in firsts with Zion once we trade him. That has to be the plan because it kind of makes sense, right? If you're good enough to where you don't want to trade Zion because the team's winning, team's working, whatever, then the pick is not worth anything. The pick doesn't matter. And if you're bad enough for the pick to matter, then you trade Zion. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, right? That makes sense. Now, what do you do at coach? Okay, so if Willie gets fired the next couple of days or whatever, and I want to get this video out before the Clippers game, Mike Malone is the first guy that's going to come to mind. Now, from what I'm hearing, they're not going to go that route. And they're going to let this thing play out for the season, and then they'll go from there. So then all of a sudden you think, all right, well, does that mean they would go to the college ranks? Would they go try and get like Nate Oates? All right, Todd Golden. Those are just a couple of, I don't even know if they want to coach in the NBA. They may be happy in college. Golden just won a national championship. Like they may want to stay. Oates has Alabama as a perennial like Final Four Elite Eight team. Totally different NBA college. It's not the same as college football and NFL. But do they try and do that? Do they try and strike, get the next young guy? Do they try and go that route? Or do they get a retread NBA coach like Mike Malone, which I think would be great. This team is so dysfunctional from the front office to the organization to the infrastructure to the training, whatever. They might just need an adult in the room. They may just need an NBA coach to show them how to do it. They may just need someone to be like, hey, guys, this is kind of how we operate. This is how you need to operate. Malone being a guy who is a no-nonsense guy, Malone being a guy who just won the finals, he understands what an organization needs to win at that level. I'd be all for. That is exactly what this team needs. Exactly what it needs. And, it's crazy how we're 4 games in, and it's just the exact same thing from last year, the exact same thing as the year before that, the exact same thing as the year before that. I mean, people forget. This is a 7-year thing we've been going through. Zion is in his 7th season. If Zion finishes this season, he will have played for the Pelicans longer than Andrew Luck's entire NFL career. That's crazy. It does not seem that long ago we were taking the Suns to the brink in the 6-game series where Chris Paul goes, whatever it was, 16 for 16. I was there. He goes 16 for 16 and breaks our hearts. All right. It doesn't seem that long ago. It seems like this is still a young team. I still remember the Jose Alvarado chants and Larry Nance and all of that. It's a long time. It's a long time this team has been doing the exact same thing. And at this point, it's borderline getting to the insanity world where we're doing the exact same thing and getting the exact same results. So it's just time. It's time to move on from Willie. It's time to move on from Zion. Turn the page. Start the new chapter. You got to get picks. Hit the lottery. And then you build with Fears, Murphy, Jones, Misi, Poole, Queen, DeJounte. You build with those guys and whoever you draft, and you go from there. You go get a coach. Go get Malone. Go get a young coach. Start anew. But damn, it is embarrassing. I mean, it is embarrassing doing this every single year. And it's the same way we're losing, too. The same way. Game's pretty close until the third quarter. Oop, LOL, now it's a 30-point game. Wow, we're only down 7 with 9 minutes. Oh, we lost by 40. Same exact thing. Go into halftime down 2. Start on a 0-12 run. Now we're down 14. Okay, cool. We're never within 10. That's exactly how it was last year. It's exactly how it was the year before. Exactly the same. So, it is what it is. They tried something for a crazy long time. I know as a Pelicans fan who has watched a ridiculous amount of this team over the last 5 years, it's time to see something new. It didn't work. It never worked. It's not going to work. The league isn't going to drastically change to the point to where all of a sudden this works. We also need Trey and Herb to be way better. They are the cornerstones of this team. They are the young core personified. Trey Murphy has to take a step and be the most improved player in the NBA. He needs to be that guy. He can't just be a guy who comes in, knocks down a couple threes, calls it a day. Herb can't just be a guy who plays good defense. He can't have zeros on the stat sheet. He's got to have some offensive game to him. He can't be a worse version of Dyson Daniel. He has to take a step. Misi's been good, or he was good last year. He's still second year. We'll see. I like what I'm seeing out of Fears. I like what I'm seeing out of Queen. I like what I'm seeing out of Jordan Poole. I think they all add something. I'm excited to see DeJounte back. But, I don't blame Dumars for giving this the good old college try and saying, let's roll Zion out there with these new group of guys. Let's see if they can get hot, go nuts, buy us some time. But not only is it not working, it's comically failing. 30-point loss, 40-point loss. If tonight against LA, is another comedic loss, I mean, how do you not start making plans? It's tough, man. I tell you what. Going to the Pelicans game on Friday and then the Saints game on Sunday, being a Saints and Pelicans fan, it ain't for the weak. And I'm Tulane, not LSU, never claimed to be, but for the LSU, Pelicans, Saints fans, may God have mercy on your soul. What a horrible what a horrible year. LSU football, New Orleans Saints football, Pelicans basketball. Good God Almighty. All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Halloween. Get on down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.